Hey Boo Buddies, welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to be making an outline reference in my bullet journal. I use this pretty much every time I sit down to write and outline and work on a story. So the first thing I'm doing is separating the spread into 4 equal sections. For the 3-act structure, Act 2 gets the 2 center sections because that is where most of the story happens. I could leave it as like a mini bulletin board in the spread, but I have a big version that I outline in my office with, and I tend to use this one more as a checklist. So I'm adding in my beat cards. Some are single cards, while some are stacks of cards, and that is not random. Some things in story are done in one shot, one section, and one scene, while others are built on with repetition and many actions and multiple scenes, and that is being reflected with the visualization of the cards. Not only do the cards show me what comes next in the storytelling, but also help me keep track of how far apart certain things should be and how long they should take to build and ultimately resolve. If you're wondering where I got this goofy idea about beats and structure in my outline came from, that would be the Save the Cat method, originally done by Blake Snyder, but I learned it from the Save the Cat Writes a Novel adapted by Jessica Brody. I like having this reference in my bullet journal since it's something I usually always have with me, and that way I can reference back to it without having to look it up on the internet or carry my copy of the book around. In this spread, I am putting in just over 30 card representations to coincide with the 15 standard beats of the Save the Cat outlining method. To go with the writing theme that I am trying to channel within my journal, I got out my stamp set. If you cannot tell, this stamp pad is actually pretty old, which is why it is not coming out very dark. And that was pretty frustrating. It was actually my mother's back in the 80s, and I ended up with it somehow, and it's not doing a great job. Because this is the Save the Cat outline, I got one of my Halloween cat stamps to just drive home that point and add a little spooky feel where I can. So because this is a reference spread and not a calendar interactive spread, I kept the color scheme to just black and grayscale, using only one black fine liner of a 0.05 millimeter and my N95 grayscale Tombow brush pen for shading and texture. And those were really all the supplies I used despite my failed stamp pad. If I wanted to do this for a specific story, I could leave it as it is now, all blank with the cards, and fill it in with the specific points of plot points and beats that I write for a specific story and interact with my spread that way. But this one I really like to have for a flip back and reference whenever I get stuck in a writing block or outlining issue of, okay, we just had this action, now what? And I can flip back to my reference and just never really have to worry about getting as stuck as I did before. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the beats into all of my nice, neat cards. And Act 1 gets the first 6 out of 15, which seems like a lot, while Act 2 has the most action in the story, with the beat of B story and fun and games taking up most of Act 2 and getting a lot of cards, even though they're technically only 2 out of the 15 beats. On the flip side, Act 3 technically only has 2 beats, but they get broken down into a whole bunch of extra action and it gets all clumped together. But if it's done really well, all that clumping comes out to be a wonderful climatic action. In my Act 3 spread, I actually used the broken down version of the finale and actually write out all the individual sections in the cards that I have laid out. So gathering of troops and executing of the new plan and the highs and lows that will take us to that beat 15 of final image. I am not the first and certainly not the only YouTuber to talk about the Save the Cat method or Save the Cat Writes a Novel method. So if you want more on the individual beats and how they work on that, I highly recommend you check out Jessica Brody's YouTube channel since she actually wrote the book. There is, of course, a lot more to this method of storytelling besides the 15 beats, and writers of any level can benefit from picking up these books. I hope this spread is useful and inspires you with your own journaling and writing projects. If you liked it, don't forget to give a thumbs up, and for more creations you can follow me on these platforms. Until next time, Boo Buddies.